Okay, so it's time to begin assembling our beams. There's quite a few. I did ink and emboss all of these because I wanted to make them look like real pieces of wood. Okay, the only thing you want to pay attention to, and we'll show you how to assemble all of them, but on some of these, the main tab, you'll see that there's triangular teeth, some tabs, and then there's one end cap. And on some of them, they're like L-shaped, okay? And that's because the house has some corners that, we need to put them on. And instead of doing two pieces, we wanted it to look authentic. And it's a one piece that kind of covers two adjacent walls. So the L shapes are gonna be a little bit different as far as assembly, but I know this seems kind of crazy right now, but I'll show you why you don't need to worry about it too much. Let's just start with any piece right now. You'll also notice that on all of these pieces, your machine has actually scored letters on here. So this one is SCR, SCR. I wrote it so that you could see it better, but here you'll see SCR. You're gonna refer to that while we're actually applying this to the final house, okay? So the cool thing about this is you can see there's a tab, and then there's, that is the front. And this is how easy it is to put these together. Okay, let me clean this off real quick. I promise you it will not be difficult. So we're gonna apply glue to the tab, and you know it's a tab because it has angled sides. We've worked with plenty of tabs in our days, right? Okay, then what you can do, you can literally put that down flat, grab the other end, and just close it up. Okay, so these are super easy to put together. And now we just kind of give it a squeeze and we have a little wood board. Okay, and then all we need to do is fold the little tabs in on both sides, like so. Hit that with your finger and then close it up with that little end cap piece. And while you're doing that, just try to make sure that everything is nice and flush. If you need to, what you can do is put that down on your surface, grab a dowel, and poke it through and press down from the inside like that. That really helps speed things up a little bit. There we go. Perfect. And then do the same thing on the other side and close it up. Okay. Just remember, if you want the side that actually has that has those letters etched into it, you could fill that in with a marker if you want. That side is going to be up against the house, so when we're actually doing the assembly and putting these in place, you won't see it. So you could technically write on that side, okay, just to help you identify it better. Okay, so to close this up, we're just going to put glue on these three little tabs here, and it would be helpful if they're kind of facing out a little bit. So we don't want them drooping inside of the hole. We want them kind of out a little bit so that as you push down on this little end cap, it grabs more of that surface area. Okay, and then you just want to press and hold that while it sets. And try to squeeze those walls in so that they match up with that little end cap as closely as possible. Okay, and you just want to hold that for a few moments, let it completely set, just like that. Okay, so there it is. It almost basically looks like a 2x4. Pretty cool. Okay, so that is going to be our life for the next little bit here. Now on some of these, for example this one here, we can glue it together flat, but the end cap is at a little bit of an angle. Actually, is this one? Yeah, this one's just has a little bit of an angle on it, and that's okay. I mean, it'll all kind of come together, but just like we did the first time, find the side that has the tab, and let's apply some glue right to that tab. Bring it all the way out to the very edge. You can fold the tab in like that, and then grab the other half and just press it down right on there. And press down, and then you can kind of fold it that way, whichever way. Just keep holding. I think I went a little easy on the glue on one half of it, so it kind of came apart a little bit, but as long as you're patient. And there we go. So we formed it. Now on one side, it is going to be flat, so again, get those little triangular tabs almost all the way in, not quite. Press that down, and then go ahead and close it up with that little end cap piece, and just continue holding that. You can put that side, you can put on your surface and pop a little dowel through there to help it. And that just makes it go a lot quicker. There we go. Just making sure that was on there nice and straight. And it was. And now on this side here, again, this one's going to go in. It's not flat. It's kind of angled, curved a little bit sideways. And that's just because of the way that it needs to align with the house. So just press and hold that in place. Make sure it's squeezed in as far as it'll go, and just continue to hold. And there's your next little beam. And don't forget, you have little letters on here. We're going to be using those when the time comes to actually adhere this to the house. So if you want, you can kind of pencil that in to make it a little bit darker. Okay, so here's the letter R. Okay, one side has a tab. That's this side here because you can see it's angled on the ends. So we'll apply our glue to the tab. Spread that out to the very edge. Okay, and then you can literally take the other end and just pop it right on there, just like that. And you're literally just pressing it down flat. And continue to press while it sets. So anyway, getting this is definitely an ambitious project even for us. And it's a good test to see how much patience our demographic has as well, because I know, you know, don't always have a lot of time to craft, especially nowadays with all the doom scrolling. But I think this is one of those projects where, you know, you're not going to get it done in an afternoon. Okay, so I've got it dimensional now, going to one side with the 3 tabs, applying a little bit of glue. Take the square part and close it up right on top of those 3 tabs. Make sure it's as aligned as it possibly can be. Okay, wait for that glue to get a little tacky. And then check your alignment if you need to kind of push any of the walls in. Do that. And you can put that down on your surface. And straight from the top, just pop it down there and press down to really get that to stick. And there you have it. Okay. And we'll go over to the other side. Again, don't have to put the tabs all the way down. Just a little bit. Flatten that out, and then go ahead and close it up. Try to make sure that we keep everything nice and square. Okay, and press and hold. And just be patient while that glue sets. And there's another beautiful little beam. So I wonder if anyone's ever thought to, because we've done something like this before, where you make little pieces of wood, essentially. I think we did that with the crate. I was always curious if anyone would ever just take some of these and kind of build something else with them. Okay, so that I let go prematurely. I shouldn't have, and it didn't stick. So I'm going to try that one more time. All right, so again, let's find the tab. There it is. And apply your glue to the length of this thing. Spread that glue all the way out to the very edge, just like that. Okay, and we can kind of fold it over and then grab the other end and just press it right down onto that. Here we go. And just keep pressing. Don't let go. And this one is straight on the end caps. No surprises there. There we go. Okay, and again, just fold those 3 little tabs in place. Apply your glue. And take the rectangle and press it into place. Make sure that the walls are all pushed in. And I'll take my little dowel and push that down. There we go. That looks good. Okay, and then to close it up, take those 3 tabs, glue, and close it. This top part is the part where you want to be a little more patient before you let it go, because we have no way to kind of push up on those tabs. So we're trying to make contact with as much of that surface as possible. And I guarantee we're not getting 100% contact, but as long as we have some, it's fine. It's just a matter of being patient with it. Let's grab the tab, apply some glue. Now see with this one, you gotta be careful when you're using this wood grain embossing folder, because it has a tendency to really kind of pull at the paper. Okay, so just took the other end, pressed it down against that tab, flat, completely flat, because this is, it's a symmetrical piece, so you can do that. All right, straighten it out. Let's get this tab out of the way for a second. Now that was kind of ripped a little bit by my embossing machine, but I think it's gonna be okay. And again, this is a Halloween project, so not a huge deal if things look a little wonky. But it does kind of make it harder to get everything lined up, because it kind of has a mind of its own. I'm going to just hold this one with my finger. This side looks fine. That's why I'm not overly concerned about it. There we go. I'll flip that over and push down from the inside. There we go. And we'll bring these tabs in. And actually, you know what I just realized is you could just put glue on this thing too, instead of putting it on the tabs. I guess that would work. I'm just really doing everything backwards today. Just kind of looking at things from a new perspective, I guess. Okay, I'm just gonna hold that between my fingers there. And you know, if you want to, obviously it's not gonna work with all these pieces because some of them you can't hold in your hand like this, but if you want to hit that with some additional ink while you're waiting for it to set, you can definitely do that. Okay, and that piece will be fine. So there's SCF. Let's see, this is piece L. Okay, same thing. Let's apply our glue. Now there's one piece, forget what number it is. This is S, okay, it's S, piece S. All right, so I'm putting the tab down, grabbing the other end, and just pressing it down right onto that tab. Okay, and this is L. Let me fill that in. There we go. And just keep pressing that down. Slowly but surely, we will make our way through this. This is really just, this is one of those tasks, especially with these, since the process hasn't really changed. This is one of those where you kind of just zone out, put on a podcast or one of your favorite movies or something, and just get into the zen. Okay, we're gonna close that one up. Just kind of using my surface to help me a little bit. I'll push that in, just a tad. And as I'm holding it, you can go from the other side and just press that in there. Help that tab make better contact. Okay, and now finally, got 3 more tabs. Again, I want to bring that out a little bit so it makes better contact as I push down the little rectangle. Spread that glue out and close it up. I'm going to pop that in a little bit. There we go, and just hold it. All right, moving right along here, I'm going to grab piece B as in boy. Same thing, this one is just square on the end. Let's grab our glue, apply the glue to the tab. Spread that glue out, oops. Spread that glue out nicely. Okay, and then you can just put that on your surface, grab the other end. It helps to kind of fold it in one, like that. And grab the other end and push it right down on there. It should meet up perfectly. And just keep pressing. Okay. Let's go down here. You can feel that. Just kind of crushing one of the little tabs. I'm just going to write the letter there just so you can see it. Okay, it looks good. Open it up, make it dimensional, and just push those little tabs in at the top, one of the ends anyway, and apply your glue to the 3 little tabs, and then go ahead and close it up. And just hold it in place. Get it nice and lined up. And once you have it lined up, flip her over, and you can push down from the inside. Okay, and then finally, on the other end here, you got the 3 tabs. Nice little bit of glue. Let's flare these out a little bit. There you go, and then close it up. Might have flared those out a little too much. And I'm just kind of pinching and pushing the walls in a little bit so that they are matching up with the size and the width and the depth of that little end piece. Okay, and I'm just going to hold that in my fingers for a few extra seconds just to make sure that it takes. Gonna keep those kind of together. Okay, let's grab, this is another B. Now, so the letters may repeat, but that's okay because the thicknesses, or the type of, it's not a 2x4, this is like a 2x2. And I don't even know if that's an actual type of wood size because I don't work with wood very often, but the letters may repeat, but that's okay because they're different diameters, different thicknesses, so that's okay. All right, just keep pressing that down. Do the same exact thing there. Just applied the glue to the tab, and then we're gluing it down flat. And because we have the leverage of our table, that doesn't take that long. It really pushes that glue into the little nooks and crannies of the paper. So we'll flip it over to one side here, apply glue to those 3 tabs, and close it up nicely. Make sure it matches up nicely. And then we can pop that down on our surface and push down from the inside. Really help that glue get a hold. That looks great. And then just close it up on the other end. Just like that. Just a few dots of glue. Just dab it with your finger and close it up. Moving right along here. Let's grab another square piece just to get those out of the way. I think we're starting to run out of the square piece. Let's do this one here. This is piece MB. So that's probably middle, back. Okay, and you can see the tab here. So let's apply our glue to the tab. And I think what I'll do is actually write the names of the tabs on the screen so that as you're going through this, if you're scrubbing through and you want to find a particular section, it might be easier to identify that. Okay. All right, so this one here on one end, it's kind of got an angle to it. On the other end, it's flat, and that's okay. We've got a lot of stuff going on as far as this house is concerned. And not everything is going to be completely flat all the time. Okay, so I've got the glue on those 3 tabs, and we're going to bring in this little end cap, put that down on our surface, and kind of nudge those walls in wherever necessary. So make sure we got the right shape. We're going to hold that down. Actually put that down on our surface. And if you want, top your dowel in there, just give it a few little pokes. Help that out. And that actually backfired on me. So I'm going to clean that up. Yeah. It was not a straight angle. So I just need a little extra TLC there. Okay, so this side is flat, so it should be a little easier to work with. And we'll just put the glue on the 3 tabs. Actually, maybe don't even give it a dab. Maybe this is better if you don't dab it. It might actually hold better. I don't do these a lot, but I will be a master at it after this process is over, that's for sure. That actually worked better. Just leaving a little extra glue on there really helps kind of pull it in. And then obviously you want to be patient and hold it just so it doesn't come falling apart on you. Here we go. Got a smaller one here. Okay, there's the tab. Same process. So anyway, yep, I'm wrapping up this bundle here. Hopefully it does well. As I was saying, I wanted to be adventurous and try something a little more involved and complex. I'm just going to be honest with you, a little concerned that this process might be too tedious for people. But again, if I'm repeating myself, I apologize. Many of you made the Bates house, so all right. This is FR. Okay, holding that into place. Pop it out, make it dimensional. And these are just straight on both sides, so very simple. And again, I'm going a little extra glue here. I'm not going to dab it. This seems to work a little bit better. Even if we get a little bit of glue on there, that's okay. I can just wipe that right off. Okay, just hold that in place. Now that it's somewhat in place, flip it over, push down with your dowel, and that ought to do it. That's good. Okay, and then the other side, it's helpful because this side is kind of holding it together structurally as far as the shape, so it makes this side a lot easier. Otherwise, this could be kind of a difficult process, but it's not too bad. There we go. Just press and hold that down for a few moments. Okay, moving on to the next piece here. I've got FB as in boy. And this one is pretty straightforward. It has a little bit of an angle on one side. I'll just start with the tab. Now, there are a series of little pieces like this, especially the smaller ones that go on the tower. Okay, so just like before, just grab the other end and press it right down on there. Okay, all right, so here we go. This is FB and has a slight little angle. Let's get our glue flowing on there. Let me clean this tip off. There we go. And we'll close that up. And just make sure it's aligned as nicely as you can get it, as centered as possible. I'd be super impressed with you. I mean, I don't think it's that difficult. If you rush all of this, yeah, it's going to be a disaster. But this one, again, is you need to take your time on it, basically. Okay, so this one, again, on the other end, it does angle ever so slightly. Just a tiny bit, and this is FB. Yeah, and that's because of the door. So it kind of meets the angle of the door. And FB is front bottom or front base. Just hold that in place. Give that a few seconds so it's flush here because it's going to go up against one of the sides, and then it's going to meet the door on the other side. Oh, I have a visitor. Hey, bud. Hey, buddy. Okay, just hold that down for a few extra seconds. There we go. Okay. I have a little visitor in the studio here today. Okay, so S, Pretty much the same, except that we have a series of little tabs that we're going to use to anchor this to part of the house. Okay, so this one you don't actually close up. We will get it prepped. Okay, so remember this is S as in Sam. You can put that down, grab the other half, press it down, just like we've been doing. No big deal. But again, as I mentioned, we're not going to close up the ends. These 4 tabs are going to be used to anchor this to the house. So we can just flare them out. That's kind of how I remember what things are for. I got to find where that S went. It's written somewhere. There it is. It's right here on this tab. So I'm going to write exactly where it was, and we'll leave that there. And then there's another tab labeled S. We do the same thing, but we're not going to close it up because we need those tabs for anchoring purposes. Okay, spread that out like we've been doing. Grab the other end and just press that down. Give it a real good solid press. There we go. Okay, and just so we remember, pull those tabs out. I can tell I embossed this one with more strength than I did the other one, and it kind of beat it up a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so we've got a few more here. Now we're starting to get into the little L pieces. So again, look at that L cap there, or the end cap. It has a little L on it, okay? And I'm trying to see if this one, can we glue this down flat? Yes, I think we can, yep. So I believe most of these will be able to do the same process where we can glue the 2 ends together flat on our surface. Okay, this is FL. And some of them, I think maybe one of them you can't. But just like we've been doing, same thing. It's still a symmetrical piece, so it should allow you to do this flat like so. But now, what we want to do here is we want to match this up with the little L. So what we need to do is actually push this in. Okay, because this actually needs to come in like this. And we want to basically shape this piece just like that little end cap. Okay, hold on, I need to fold this way real quick. There we go. Okay, so you can see here, you fold these little tabs down. There's a handful of them up here. And you can see the shape that it creates. It's like this. Okay, so there's kind of a little, what's the word? That's like double layered kind of. Okay, so you see how that works. And then this cap, you just want to form it into this shape. Whoops. So let's get our glue going on this guy. I'm going to go a little bit heavier here. And just close it up. And then, of course, we need to just kind of nudge things around just to make sure that it's following the shape of that little end cap. Make sure you got the right shape there. Okay, keep holding that. And put that down flat on your surface. Let the table do the work, and then you can see the other side will naturally kind of assume that shape automatically because that side's already assumed that shape, so you can see how that looks. And this one's even particularly a little more challenging because it's angled here, okay? And that's going to be part of the roof, or it's going to be one of the sides where the roof hits it, I think. Actually, I think the roof hits it on all the sides, but nevertheless, we'll go ahead and close it up here, putting glue on the other side, and then just pressing that into place. And again, you gotta kind of nudge those walls in a little bit just to match that shape. It's like an L. There we go. Perfect, and just keep holding that. All right, this one I don't think we can put flat on our table. Just kind of doesn't make any sense, but I'm confused. That's okay. I'm allowed to be confused. This project is, you know what, let's try it. It should work. Oh, it does. Duh. Okay, same thing. Just use your table to get that first tab in place. And now with this one, it's not angled on either side. Okay, just remember, we gotta mess with the folds to get this to go into the shape that we need it to go into to match that little L. There we go. Nope, not quite. That needs to come out. That needs to go in. And then that needs to come out. If you need to kind of use a dowel to help you shape this. So again, you can see here the little end cap and what you need to do to match that shape. There it is right there. Okay, let's push those tabs down. There we go. And we'll apply our glue. So there's 4 triangular tabs and then one that's a little bit larger. Okay, and then push that end cap down right onto those tabs. If it helps, just put it flat on your surface on the other side. And then just give those a little push. Let that glue get kind of tacky and just keep holding. And you can flip it over, push from the other side, really help that glue grab it. Now again, if you're going to emboss these, be very careful not to over emboss because it will make the paper less rigid and then it can become a little bit harder to work with. So just a fair warning there, but it's okay. You got this, okay? And then we'll just finish it up on the other side with the other end cap. And just kind of squeeze those walls in to match that end cap shape. And press that down. And hold it. Perfect. Okay, and then this one here, we have BFL. So I'm gonna write that. You can see right where it scored it. BFL. Just keep holding that until we're sure it's fully set. And again, you can see it's got that little L shape there. Find the side with the tab. There it is. And apply your glue. All right, so all of these are going to be pretty much the same. I will mention any anomalies, anything different as it arises, but for the most part, the process is going to be identical. Okay, now while I have this flat, I'm going to just write on here while it's flat. So much easier. Okay, this is BL. BL. Okay, and I can honestly say, I don't know if I've ever had this much glue on my fingers. All right, one side is going to be flat, the other side is coming kind of at a slope. And again, you just need to match this up with the angle of the end cap. So I'm just kind of using my dowel here to help me. This I need that to fold in. It'll take a little bit of finagling, but there you go. You can see that pretty much got it. Oops. Pop that out. Okay, there we go. And we'll take the little tabs, push them down. There we go. And then the end cap's gonna go right on top of those guys. So let's open that up, apply our glue. That little tab probably was a victim of embossing. That's okay, 90% of it's still there, so I think we'll be okay. Hold that down. I'm gonna pop this through here, Push that up against there. So anyway, if you're watching this video, heading up to the Eagle River area, you're actually going to be on the Eagle River chain, hopefully catching some fish. We did pretty good catching walleye last time we were up there, but we'll see how we fare this year. We got some musky rigs, but I can't cast a bait caster, for those of you that know what that is. Okay, we're going to close this one up. This one's flat. Again, as it starts to set, you might need to kind of nudge some of these walls in a little bit. Just so you want to get as close as possible to the shape of that end cap as you can. Okay. The most important part is this part here and here. If this inside part is not perfect, it's okay. I mean, it does need to, you need to be able to have that defined corner in there, because it's going to go up against the house, and we need it to be a good 90 degrees. If it's not perfect as far as the gluing, it's not the end of the world, but do your best. Okay, so there's BL, we got that. All right, moving along here to piece SC, and this again is another one that has the little L end cap. Very simple. Okay, we'll just put that down flat and pop that into place. While we have it flat, let's just write in this there. Okay, and again, if you need to grab your little dowel to help you kind of form those angles, you can pop your dowel in there, pop out whatever section you need to form that L shape, just like that. Okay, here we go. And then we can take and fold the tabs down at the top or bottom, either side. This one does not have any weird angles going on. Let me squeeze that in a little bit further. There we go. Okay, pop that out of the way and apply our glue. Okay, and then close it up. If it helps, you can always just kind of pop it on your surface or whatever feels the most comfortable, most natural for you. I'm actually just starting on one side of the L, just kind of almost like we're just putting together one of the beams, or one of the 2x4s I should call them. And then once that gets a good grip, just go over to the other side of it and hold that down. You can push that down on your surface now. And just go like that. There we go. And then let's get that out of the way. And this one, you know what? This one does have a little bit of an angle. That's okay. Let's pop that down. I'm going to use my dowel to sort of help me. That's why it helps to make sure that you fold everything at the score marks as far as the tabs go before you get into the actual assembly, just to loosen up those fibers so things kind of flow a little bit easier for you. Okay, and we'll put the end cap in place. Make sure it's nice and lined up. Just like that. And just hold that in place for a few seconds. The bottom looks great, top looks great. And again, it's this side and this side that we're really concerned about. This side could be a little bit wonky, but we won't even notice that because it's going to be hidden mostly. Okay, so there's SC. Getting close here, folks. I can smell it. All right, SC. We got a tab. Let's get our glue on the tab. So one thing that is going to be a little bit different this year as far as Halloween goes for me is the fact that, well, Peyton's a baby, and we typically do a lot of haunted houses every year. Let me write in SC here. It's written on here twice for some reason. That's okay. And I don't think I have a whole collection of little monsters down in the basement, and we recently had some work done down there. We had to take them out. And when we went out to bring them downstairs while we were working out in the morning, he saw them, and he wasn't crying or anything, but I could tell usually he likes to crawl around down there, but he won't go in that room because he does not like those little ghoulish figures. So I don't think he's quite ready for a haunted house. And I know you guys think I'm crazy. And you'd be like, why would you take a baby to a haunted house? Well, I wouldn't, but we took our other kids to haunted houses pretty early on. And now they are completely immune to that stuff, which I don't know if that's good or bad, but either way. All right, so again, this one is pretty much the same as all the other ones we've been working on as far as the L-shaped end caps. Just gonna put some glue on those tabs and then bring that down. Okay. And again, just kind of nudging the walls in a little bit, making sure that it all matches up as accurately as possible. This bottom one that's flat, oh, I think my cat just caught the mouse that was in here. We'll see. Maybe he'll bring it to me once he catches it. The end cap, the bottom one, the flat one here, that one will be visible. This one that's angled will not. It'll be under the roof. So there's going to be a lot of room for, well, I guess what I'm trying to say is there are sections of this project that are very forgiving because we have other things in place to kind of hide them. All right, so then we've got the other end there. I've got the glue on the tabs, and I'm going to push that into place. And this part kind of angles down a little bit. And just continue holding that. And there's SC. Okay, so there's SC, moving on. This is FR, find the tab, and apply your glue. You know, if you can get through this. Actually, this is making me feel a lot better about this project because I thought this would be a lot more, not difficult, just tedious and annoying. It's not too bad, actually. Okay, this is FR. Okay. And again, this one has a little L cap on it. So we need to form this accordingly. So it's going to go like this, and then it's going to come out. So we'll grab our little dowel here to help us kind of push that down. There we go. And I think I almost feel like we should create a club for those that assembled this thing. It's actually not a bad idea. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start with this side here, the flat side. Let's fold those tabs in. Very simple. Let's get a good amount of glue on there. Just like that, and bring that down. And again, trying to match that little L shape as accurately as you possibly can. Start with one side here. Make sure that looks good, and then get the other side in place. I think I drank too much coffee today. Sorry to whoever was calling me from California. Can't take your call right now, but I will get you over to Mike. Okay, we'll bring those tabs down, and same thing. So this angled part, it's flat on one end, and that's the part we're going to see. The angled part is towards the top of the house, where the roof will be. So this part, again, this is going to be hidden. So if you kind of don't make this as perfect as you wanted it to, or you wanted to make it, it's okay. You won't even see it. It'll be under the roof. Okay, there we go. So there's FR. Beautiful. Now my cat is occupied because he saw a little critter in the studio. I saw that critter the other day too. Okay, SC, moving on. Let's get the tab coated. Okay. And get that off the front. Put that down flat. Grab the other end, prop it right on there. Okay. And open it up. And again, grab your little dowel here. We'll fold these tabs in, get them out of the way, and you can see there's the L. So this part needs to go in. And then we need to pop it out while it's still folded in that manner. There we go. You get the hang of it. Okay, there we go. Bring those tabs down. Let's apply our glue. And I'm going to start on this side here with the longer tab. Excuse me. I've been talking so much today. My voice is getting kind of hoarse. Okay, we'll start on that side. Make sure that's nice and flush. Got to bring that wall in a little bit. Okay, keep that nice and straight. Press that down. And that looks almost perfect. Not quite, but that's okay. We're not going to see this inside part anyway. And while I have it here, SC, I'll keep holding that down. Okay, there we go. And let's move these tabs. This one's also kind of angled. I think most of these are going to be angled on one side because they're all the corner pieces that are vertical. So that's kind of a good thing. Got a little room where this thing will be a little forgiving. There we go. Tuck that in. And just hold. Hold that in place. There we go. And there we have it. Moving on, we have piece B, B, R. Okay, grab the tab. You can tell it's a tab because it's angled on the sides. Okay, bring that down like that and close it up. This one's a little skinnier. Where's this one go? I'm not sure, but we'll know once we get there. Okay, keep pushing that down. All right, and again, bring the tabs in and need to match this up with the shape of that little end cap. So just pop that in. Push this out. There we go. Just like that. Push those down. Let's get our glue on the tabs. And I'm going to start with this side here that has the longer tab. And pop that into place. Press and hold, and then kind of squeeze in that other side a little bit. There we go. And put that down on my surface. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to bring in that little guy. All right, and close it up Okay, moving on here, we have piece BFR. BFR, there we go. Another L shape. Get your glue on there. Nice and thin. Pop that down. Grab the other end, press it into place. Nice and easy. Okay, and again, just need to grab my dowel here and match it up. Need to poke this out. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, let's push those tabs down and close up that end cap. And again, start on that side there with the longer tab. Get that into place. Okay, hold that in place. Okay, and other side. Just pop those down, and this one's flat as well. Okay, go ahead and close it up. Just like that. And you know, once you have these all put together, now I know I spent a lot of time inking these strategically, just the sides that needed it. But if you want to, you can absolutely take some extra time to hit this with a little additional ink once it's actually all together. It might be a little bit easier to really blemish this thing up and really make it pop once it's all together and nice and rigid. Okay, so I might actually spend some time doing that. I mean, I've come this far, and you might as well go all out. You spend this much time on a project, huh? Okay, we have this funky looking guy here, and this one's gonna be a little bit different because of its shape, but not difficult. You can see what it's gonna become. It's not that hard at all. So here's what we'll do. We're gonna start off by just kind of forming it like this. Okay, so it starts like this, where the little letters are scored in. Just close it up, and then we have these two tabs here. We're gonna apply some glue to these. Okay, the fact that we're doing something different here means we're getting very close to the end here. And go ahead and close that up on this side. Just line that up as accurately as you can. I'm gonna put that down on my surface, grab myself a little dowel, push down there. Okay, and then I'm gonna take and bring these tabs down, but first we're gonna put some glue on these two little guys here. Well, hello there, Mr. Fly, you were gutsy, I'll tell you that. Okay, we're gonna glue that down right there, like so. Just hold that, we can move this out of the way. We've got two tabs here. We're gonna apply glue to those next. Right there, and right there. Just thin that out a little bit. I'll bring this down and push that up against those tabs there. Give that a little nudge if you need to. Okay. And just hold that in place. You can actually move that out of the way temporarily so that we can apply glue. Where's my fly swatter? Okay, and finally here, Well, not quite finally, almost. Apply your glue there onto those tabs. Thin that out nicely. And bring that down. Line that up. Might need to nudge some things in or out. Get that to line up correctly. Give this a little nudge out. Okay, here we go. So this one's definitely got a little bit of a weird shape, and part of that didn't really stay together for me. Okay. Here we go. And let's just draw this in while we're here. S, C, B. Okay, and then we finally, on this end here, we have 3 tabs. Get our glue on those. Thin that out. And go ahead and close it up. Okay, so we have one more here. That's BBL. Let's get that one put together. And then we just have the small ones that go around the tower. And those are going to go together in a slightly different way, which is why I saved them for last, so we don't create any confusion. Excuse me. We'll close that up. And press that down. There we go. And this one's just pretty straight. Get our glue on the tabs, close it up, and just hold it. I had a little excess glue on there, but that's okay. And I already wrote the label on there, as should you, so that when it comes time to put it in its appropriate place, we know exactly what to grab. And let's close this one up. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so onto piece number 3. Grab the tab, apply your glue, spread it out, and then grab the other end, pop it right on top, close it up. Okay, and then all we're going to do with this, there's 2 folds here, 1 and 2. This one's going to close like a little box. We're going to take these 2 triangular tabs, fold them in, put a dot of glue on each of them, and then put a little bit of glue on this trapezoid. Take the trapezoid and just pop it right in there, like we're closing up a box, or like what kind of box is that? Like a gift box, kind of. Okay, just hold that in place. If you need to kind of stick your doll in there to help, by all means, go for it. Press that down. Should look like that. Then we'll head over to the other side, get that out of the way, push those triangular tabs down, and then you have the little trapezoid there too. Apply glue to the triangular tabs as well as the trapezoid, and then push that in. Put the trapezoid, tuck it in. Okay, and then press and hold. Okay, so that just leaves one more little piece here, and this one's going to be a little bit different. Because this middle section is so small, we had to shift the tabs around a little bit. So this is piece FB, and I'm going to write that in. Here we go. We're going to do this little end point here with the 3 tabs. We're going to bring that in, and we're going to apply glue to the 2 triangular tabs that are a little bit larger than the 3rd, and bring that in and just connect it to the wall that's adjacent to that section. There's 1. Do the same thing on the other side. Here we go. Okay. And then do the same thing on this side here. I've got two tabs, two triangular tabs. Let's go ahead and get those in place. Put some glue on that, tuck those in, and move this top part out of the way while we press those into place. Got the one side in, and then the other side, I'm going to use a little dowel to help me with that. There we go. And then take these three tabs here, press them down, apply your glue, and we'll close it up like a little box. Okay, just close it up. There we go. Kind of squeeze those little walls in if necessary. And there it is. Okay, so that is the last one, and that is going to do it.